Hello, I'm Sheila Armstrong, Chair of Team First Book Houston. Before I tell you why we so appreciate you watching this video, is we're going to hear from our friend Kyle Zimmer in Washington, D.C.
I'm Kyle Zimmer. I'm president and co-founder of First Book. And for 26 years, we've been bringing the power of books and wonderful educational resources to kids in need and their dedicated teachers and caregivers all across the United States and Canada. To date, we've delivered more than 175 million books and millions more resources and ebooks and computers and backpacks and a wide array of critical resources that make all the difference for a child's future. We've had this tremendous impact because of heroes all over the country. So I want to salute Team First Book Houston and all of its supporters, and Sheila Armstrong at the helm. Thank you for everything you do. We're reaching kids in Houston because of you.
Thank you, Kyle, so much. Now, the reason why this is so important for you to watch this video is because we are having incredible successes here at Neff Early Learning Center because we have joined together a multi-generation team. And our team ages start at 4 years of age through 92 years of age. And what we have done for our team and for our partners is be sure that we are all on one page, and that goal is to help our students become great readers. And these students are 90% Hispanic and 100% low income. What some of our partners are that have joined us are, of course, First Book, and then Channel 13 ABC, with Cynthia Cisneros, Vice President of Community Affairs, and also Rotary Clubs of Sharpstown, Houston, and Skyline have joined us, along with past district governors and our current district governor. We are passionate about helping our children because we're still recuperating from Hurricane Harvey. So many of us are dedicated volunteers and a few of us are paid. But I want you to know that our children promise to read to others and to teach others to read. Enjoy, be inspired, see how we work so hard, and see how our children are becoming great readers.
First Book started in 1992. With the dream to distribute new books to kids in need. Since then, they have distributed 175 million books to children in need. They've done all of this with a goal of reaching 5 million children per year. So if we think about the number of kids that they've impacted since 1992, these kids are going on and doing wonderful things with their lives because they've had access to reading material early on. And study after study shows us that that is the key to success for kids, is access to good books that they can read at home.
Learning to read is something that takes time, it takes practice, and what better way to facilitate that than through a book. It's a very interactive activity, and you can learn from being there with your family circle, having that child even as young as 3 and 4, turning those pages, looking at those words, reinforcing those words with hearing. It's really, when you think about it, quite exciting that an entire family is learning a second language.
We didn't have a lot of books in my household when I was growing up. The books that we had were encyclopedias, thank goodness, because I was able to learn a lot from the few that we did have. Coming from that background, and of course going into the military, spending 20 years reading a lot of books when it comes to project management, how to deal with personnel, it piqued my interest. And so transitioning to a volunteer effort with Team Houston First Book was just a natural fit for me. And I know how important it is for young kids to have books.
Instead of waiting until somebody's 5 or 6 years old to teach them to read. Teach them when they're 3, because they can learn simple books when they're 3 years old, and then they'll breeze through school.
If you can reach out and assist kids, assist children at a young age, it gives back tenfold.
In life, you have two choices. You have a choice to say yes or a choice to say no. And when opportunity comes, you latch onto it and you say yes and see where that yes takes you. And I'm so amazed at where this yes has taken us and taken the children here at Neff Learning Center and Neff Elementary School.
We should be focused on wiping out illiteracy everywhere, but you have to start somewhere. We have over 1,000 families moving to the Houston area every week, and we want to make sure that all of them have the opportunity to compete in the future. So we need to start that at a very early age, at first grade.
If you don't learn to read early, you won't learn to read later on. So this is so important for all of these children to be able to have their own books that they can bring home and share them with their families.
Literacy is something that is so important to encourage and to develop, and that is all made possible by our friends from Disney, who are able to donate 5,000 books to kids here in Houston, and those kids are here at Neff Early Learning Center.
So after you brush your teeth, you're going to say this pledge and we're going to practice it together right now. Are you ready to practice it? Yes! Yes! Okay, so listen to me and repeat after me. I am smart. I am smart. I am important. I am important. I read to others. I read to others. I teach others to read. I teach others to read. I promise. I promise. All right, are you guys ready? Yeah.
Yo soy inteligente.
Yo soy inteligente.
Yo soy importante.
Yo soy importante.
Les leo a otros.
Les leo a otros.
Yo les enseño a otros a leer.
Yo les enseño a otros a leer.
Lo prometo.
Lo prometo.
We can knock out illiteracy in our country. I know that we have a crisis here in Houston, and we're here to make sure that every Houstonian is literate by the 3rd grade.
The focus of this meeting is helping kids who otherwise would not have books in their home be able to have books that they can take home. So they are learning to read. They're teaching their siblings and their parents and their grandparents to read. And a lot of them are learning to read in English. And I just can't imagine them having the ability to do this without this program.
And we all know that the number of books in the home increases literacy, not only for the child, but also for other siblings, as well as parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, anybody else who's associated with that home.
It's just imperative that we participate in such events where we can give and donate so many books to children in need, especially those where English is a second language, so they can take these books and learn from them and also teach others, especially their parents who may struggle a little bit with the English language.
Over 80% of the kids here at Neff Early Learning Center are English as a second language, which means when they go home, they are more than likely not speaking English. That one book that those kids are bringing home is a perfect example and a perfect opportunity for that family to start learning English.
If the parents came as an immigrant to the U.S. and they do not know English, they don't even know how to read it. So it's fantastic that the kids are teaching them how to read in English. And it's important because it's not only about education, but it's about the family bond that they are creating.
Everybody has a plan. Everybody has a dream. And communications will get you that dream. And if you have the ability to communicate your dreams and pursue your dreams through communication, you can achieve them.
English is being learned. It's being learned at home by not just the children, but by the family. And all of that opportunity being made possible by the book distribution that Disney is so kind and generous to offer us every year.
These children are our future. They are our future teachers, doctors, lawyers. Reading is really important for what they're going to be doing.
Can you tell me, how much do you read a day?
I read a lot.
4 books. 4 books? How much you? How many books?
1,000.
Not like people.
10.
10.
It's a phenomenal thing to see first graders reading at a third grade level, and teaching their parents how to read and reading to them and reading to their younger siblings. And their joy is about doing that. You know, everybody loves to teach, and they're enthusiastic about teaching their siblings to read.
How do you know you're smart?
It's because I've been learning every single day about books.
Really? What do you learn from books?
I actually learn about them so I can actually, get smarter and stuff. And so that's why I only read books every single day when I get home, and I'm always excited. So books have helped me a lot. They gave me knowledge. They gave me a lot of things. But I like to say students about reading. Well, like I'd say, hey, do you like reading? And if they say yes, then I'd say great. But what do you like reading about? And then if they say like a reason like, I like reading because it entertains me, well, then I'd say that's great. Would you mind reading this book for me? So, what do you think about all these books that were around? You think they're amazing? Awesome? Nice. So, what about you?
All these books?
Yeah.
Super amazing.
That is what I like to hear.
If we want different results in the world, we have to change our conversations in the world. And these books, they're all about teaching kids values that they can take into the world. This makes such a difference in this generation growing up with different perspective than we've had in the past.
Rotary is an international organization. We have 1.2 million Rotarians. There are several Rotary clubs here today. I met people from the Houston Club, the Sharpstown Club, and I've also met volunteers that they say, I'm not a Rotarian. One in particular, I said, yes, you are, because your heart is in Rotary and you're being an inspiration. That is our theme this year, be an inspiration. My entire life has been devoted to teaching kids how to read.
The Rotary Club of Houston is the oldest Rotary in the Houston area, and we support all literacy programs, especially this one. And we are so honored to be joining in with the Sharpstown Rotary Club today to be able to participate in this.
No great deed is ever done by just one person. There's really an army that is here figuratively and literally. And by that I mean our volunteers that are here today that make this happen. So it's one thing to have the books dropped off. It's another thing to sort them and get them ready to hand out to those kids. That takes a lot of work. So thank you so much to our partners. We have friends that come in from the armed services who donate their time to help. We have our friends from the Sharpstown Rotary Club that really step to the plate and really practice what they preach. And then of course my alma mater, University of Houston, the Jack Valente School of Communications, they just make everything so wonderful and really bring this mission to life, give it legs, give it a heart to show and to share with others. So we want to thank all of our friends, and of course none of this would be possible without First Book, who really makes it their mission in life to teach reading, literacy, and of course, just that generosity of spirit when you learn to read.